morning, everyone. My name is Susan Johnson, and as president of the American Foreign Service Association, it's my great privilege to join colleagues from across the Foreign Service and the Foreign Affairs community to pay tribute this morning to those who have lost their lives in the line of duty while serving our country overseas. I am honored this morning to welcome Undersecretary of State Maria Otero, Assistant Secretary of State Johnny Carson, Director General of the Foreign Service Linda Thomas Greenfield, Foreign Commercial Service Acting Director Charles Ford, Ambassador Robin Sanders, former Chief of Mission in Nigeria, Representative Joe Donnelly's Legislative Director Brian Mann, Senior Advisor to the Director of the Voice of America Michael Messenger, U.S. Ambassador to Nigeria Terrence McCulley's representative Victoria Tungba from U.S. Embassy Abuja, and most importantly, the family and colleagues of our honoree, Sharon S. Clark. The AFSA memorial plaques at both ends of this lobby and the USIA plaque around the corner are a testament to the dedication of the men and women who courageously advance America's interests abroad and promote the grand and enduring ideals that gave our nation birth. They remind us of the profound sacrifice made by these individuals and their families. The AFSA memorial plaque behind me was first unveiled on March 3, 1933 by Secretary of State Henry Stimson. At that time, it displayed 65 names representing more than 150 years of American diplomatic history. Since then, in just over half that time, an additional 170 names have been inscribed on AFSA's memorial plaque. Today's ceremony marks the inscription of an additional name, bringing the total to 236. To the family and friends gathered here, I express our deepest sympathy for your loss and our gratitude for Sharon's service. Her motivation is an inspiration to all of us, and sadly, her tragic death has cut short what could have been. Every year on Foreign Affairs Day, we also place a wreath and a plaque located on the other side of this lobby, recognizing the sacrifices made by family members who accompany their spouse or parent overseas. AFSA established that plaque in cooperation with the Associates of the American Foreign Service worldwide. And I would also draw your attention to the plaque around the corner honoring fallen employees of the former U.S. Information Agency. Today, we proudly honor all of those represented on these hallowed walls. I warmly welcome the family and friends of those memorialized on our plaque who are with us today. I would now invite you to stand as the United States Armed Forces Color Guard presents colors. Then please remain standing to join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, shoulders.
Please be seated. I will now read a message from President Obama. Department of State and our embassies and consulates around the world. Today, we recognize the Foreign Service professionals who work tirelessly to advance our national interests and build a safer, more democratic, and more prosperous world for all. You are the face of American diplomacy, and on behalf of a grateful nation, I thank you and your families for your professionalism, integrity, and devotion to service. Whether you work at the Department of State, the United States Agency for International Development, the Foreign Commercial Service, the Foreign Agricultural Service, the International Broadcasting Bureau, or at our hundreds of embassies, consulates, and missions around the world, your work is immensely beneficial to the American people and to the international community. Your efforts to build bridges of understanding help promote sustainable development, prosperity, global health, democratic values, and human rights. Even as you face the unique and evolving challenges of the 21st century, you are laying the groundwork for a world where everyone can make of their lives what they will. On this occasion, we pay homage to the memory of Sharon Sue Clark, a Department of State employee who died of complications from cerebral malaria on December 26, 2010, while serving in Abuja, Nigeria. On this Foreign Affairs Day, her name will be etched into the memorial plaque, commemorating her legacy and the legacy of all who made the ultimate sacrifice in pursuit of creating a better world. I join Secretary Clinton in saluting those lost in diplomatic service to our nation, and in thanking all of those who continue to work toward a brighter future for Americans and for people everywhere. It is now my honor to turn the podium over to Undersecretary of State Maria Otero.
Good morning to all of you. Today we gather to honor the life and service of Sharon Clark, a mother, a teacher, a traveler, and a patriot. Sharon was working at the U.S. Embassy in Abuja, Nigeria, at the Office of Management Specialist for the Regional Security Office. When, as we heard before, she died of cerebral malaria on December 26, 2010. Ambassador McCulley, speaking for all of us at the U.S. Mission, for all of the U.S. Mission in Nigeria, said recently that Sharon's death was a blow to the entire American community. She worked in the Regional Security Office, perhaps the busiest section of the mission, but she was never too busy to offer a friendly word to a coworker, a discreet bit of advice to her younger colleagues, or to pitch in and contribute to the work of another section when people were on leave or there were visits that were coming that were pulling people away from the work. Noting that Nigeria is one of Africa Bureau's most difficult posts, Ambassador McCulley said that Sharon's contribution to the life and the morale of the mission were a wonderful example of how one dedicated and caring person can make a difference. From all that I have heard about Sharon, she was a woman whose life revolved around two great passions. The first was love of exploration of far-flung places. Although Abuja was Sharon's first posting as a member of Foreign Service, she had also lived in Cairo for 5 years and served as embassy housing coordinator and later housing manager. Just a week before her death, Sharon spoke to her daughter Melissa, and she said that she was very excited about her upcoming assignment in Taipei. Melissa had told us that her mother had a long life passion for travel and exploration. When we're talking to Sharon's daughters and son, it's clear that really Sharon's passion was her family. Many of whom are here. We are honored to have you here at the Department of State as we honor her. Sharon's children are here. Melissa. Melissa is here. So is Michelle and David. And so are her brother-in-law, Brandon, her grandchildren, James, who is being so good, and Savannah, and two of Sharon's four grandchildren, and Sharon's brother, Robert. All of you are here with also your children, and also extended other family members. It is easy to see why you have come here today to honor Sharon. She was a dedicated mother, grandmother, friend, and colleague. This was a woman who was a valedictorian in her high school class, who spent decades at home raising her three children, Michelle, David, and Melissa, who earned a degree in business while holding down a full-time job, and who in her 40s followed her dream to serve her country overseas. And she threw herself at whatever she was doing with passion and with integrity. This was a woman who ended her remarkable journey representing her country with distinction in Africa's most consequential capital. Michelle tells the story of how Sharon used to Skype with her grandson, connected over thousands of miles. Her grandson would sit there and smile at the screen. He still smiles whenever he sees a photo of his grandma. Sharon loved children, and she especially loved teaching children. In addition to homeschooling her own children for some time, Sharon volunteered to reach the children in small villages in Abuja, one of the many ways in which she reached out from the embassy to the community. Victoria Tumba, who is a colleague from Sharon in Abuja and who's here today, recalls how Sharon took an interest in Rachel, the young daughter of one of the stewards who worked at the housing compound. Sharon would invite Rachel to her home, and together the two of them would sit and watch children's movies and read books and read the National Geographic magazine for kids. For Rachel, and for so many other people who are here today, Sharon was a goodwill ambassador in the truest sense of the word. She was bridging the gaps between the cultures and the countries, always to help improve lives. We at the Department of State often talk about the Foreign Service family, and in that we refer to the close bonds that grow among embassy staff when they are far away from home and far away from loved ones. Sharon was a cherished member of the Embassy Abuja family, and Ambassador Robin Gibbons, who was there earlier, could also attest to that. In addition to her role as an adoptive grandmother to local Nigerian children, she opened her heart and her home to members of the embassy community. If you'll just indulge me, let me read you a note that I received from Corporate Thomas Fischetti is his last name, who served with Sharon in Abuja and who is now in La Paz, Bolivia. He says, "One of my favorite memories was that Sharon threw me a surprise birthday party on my 21st birthday. I had no idea this was going to honor. I didn't expect anything. She invited all the Marines over, made my favorite foods, including homemade ice cream. It's a memory that I will treasure. From then on, the Marines and I got random emails from her inviting us to Sunday dinner at Mom's. How wonderful. And all the Marines just called her Mom. She was one of the kindest and most genuine people I have ever known. I am glad I had the privilege of getting to know her." That is a feeling of everyone who knew Sharon, and all of them seem to hold it. We at the Department of State are privileged to have had Sharon as a colleague, as a friend, as a surrogate mom, and she leaves behind a legacy of kindness in the many, many lives that she touched. I thank you all for being here. And to Sharon's family, to her children, to her grandchildren, and also to her friends, thank you for sharing her with us. She's gone too soon, but she will be remembered, she will be missed, and and the generosity of your spirit will serve as an inspiration for all of us. Let me now move forward to remove the slide.
Sharon Clark. Let me ask you all for a moment of silence. Thank you all. This concludes the AFSA Memorial Plaque Ceremony. We're very grateful for your presence here